Hey everyone, it's Dan, your brother Barbaros. This is going to be my most comprehensive lab setup series I've ever done. We're going to be installing Microsoft Configuration Manager, or MCM 2409, with a hotfix, Microsoft Deployment Toolkit, or MDT 8456, which will integrate into our MCM. We'll be using Server 2025, the newest server version, 24H2. We'll be deploying a Windows 11 and Windows 10 admin workstation, Windows 10 22H2, which is the newest, and 24H2 for Windows 11. We'll add Windows Admin Center to those administrative workstations. We'll have SQL Server 2022 with the newest cumulative update, which is 18 as of this video. SQL Server Reporting Services, which will add as a role in our MCM deployment, Windows ADK and WinPE add-on, the newest version from December 2024. And here's our layout. So we're going to have two domain controllers. Both will have two CPUs, 2 gigs of RAM, and these two will have 128 gig drives. I've left a little bit of room for the recovery, the system, and the reserve space. So we're going to give them 128.8 gigs. That way we have exactly 128 gigs on our drive. So domain controller. Now remember, these are all thin provisioned, so you don't really need all that space. I have a 1 terabyte NVMe drive here for my lab setup. You can use a 500 gig, just as long as it's a SSD or NVMe. Spindle drives are way too slow for this kind of lab setup. Okay, so at least 500 gigs, and you should be good. 1 terabyte's recommended. Anything greater than that's good. Okay, we'll have a network gateway, which will have 2 NICs. It'll have an internal and then an external. It'll also have 2 gigs of RAM. Our certificate authority server, we're going to have 2 drives. We'll have a C and a D, but of course, what we're going to do is we're going to use 1 drive, because normally you'll have a storage array, and so we'll just allocate the amount of space, 144.9 gigs, because we have this 16 gig extra drive and 100 megs that's system reserved. Our configuration management server, which will have 8 CPUs, 16 gigs of RAM. The OS disk will be 128 gigs, and then a configuration manager drive, our SQL Server, SQL Temp DB, and SQL Logs drives, file share, and then of course our content library for a total of 961.5 gigs, thin provisioned of course. Then we'll be deploying a test server, which will be 2025 with 129.2, because when MCM deploys things, they give it a little bit different space. So 500 meg recovery, 512 meg system, and 128 megs reserve. So we'll do 129.2 instead of 128.8. The Windows admin clients will both have 64 gigs and 4 gigs of RAM, 1 CPU, 2 cores on those, and same thing here. So before we get started, as in all of my videos, I always use 7-zip and Notepad++. So we're going to do this first. So what I'll do is I'm going to use winget to get these. So right-click your terminal admin if you're running Windows 11. If you're running Windows 10, you can just go grab those at the websites. I'm going to install both of these and then exit. So I'll copy from 134 down to 138, paste that here. It'll install 7-zip, and then it'll install my Notepad++. And we can press enter to exit. I'm going to click start, type Notepad++. I'm going to run as administrator. Okay. I'm going to go here to settings, preferences, file association, Notepad, and I'm going to double click the TXT. Backup, I'm going to uncheck the remember current session. I'm going to close that. I'm going to go to view, word wrap. Okay. Now, another thing you can do if you'd like, settings preferences, and I like to do this, I use dark mode. So there's that. And then close Notepad++. All right. Now our notes zip file. I'm going to, like I said, this will be in the description text of this video. So you'll see here, download. I'm going to click save as. I'll go to my desktop, save. I can close this here. I'm going to move this down. I'm going to shift, right click, and then I'm going to say extract here or extract files. I'll just say extract files to notes. And there's all of my notes files. Okay, so I can delete the zip. I'll move this down to here. And we're good to go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do in this next video, we'll start our prerequisites. I'll see you there.